Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we got a little bit of an interesting one going on over here, where it seems like PlayStation may very heavily be alluding towards the upcoming Last of Us Part 3. Now, we have a little bit of a quick video on this one too, because it seems intriguing, and a lot of things are lining up, but obviously speculation and rumors aside, this could go on either way. So let's go talk about it. Make sure you guys are subscribed, notifications on Twitter and Twitch down below, leave a like and your thoughts. So, as you guys probably know, The Last of Us has been on record by multiple different times in the maker, stating that they want to make probably a Last of Us Part 3. Makes a lot of sense. TV show's been doing very well. They're going to be making a second season of the TV show because it's doing very well, and Part 1 and Part 2 both did very good, and they've also been remade and re-hyped multiple different times. So it just makes sense. And of course, as well, with the owners and makers are like, hey, if we could get a cool idea for it, we'll do it. And they have nothing else really in the works, they're probably working on a Part 3. And this is what makes things a little bit more intriguing, or at least adds towards the rumors of it, saying that PlayStation Studio is now making action-adventure game with, quote-unquote, intense violence. Now, obviously, any type of video game could fit in that same exact boat, but the casting call has been discovered for an unannounced PlayStation game studio. So this is a PlayStation Studio game. So think of anything like a Naughty Dog or like Insomniac, like a higher level, big PlayStation-owned studio production. So a big budget game that'll supposedly feature intense violence. If you ever watched The Last of Us 1 or 2, there is stuff up the wazoo. And the casting call was originally leaked by a known insider back in May, but the rumor was overlooked due to little information. Now, a different outlet has apparently uncovered evidence of a casting call along with potential character concepts too as well. So we had this random leak over here from Daniel RKK, whatever, here for the nice little run through when it comes to this. So intriguing to go and see this from the leaks or whatever for it. And they also have via Reddit too as well. So let me go and show you guys the actual proper link where people were saying this a few months ago, stating casting director Jamie Balfus, Senior Manager of Casting and Talent at Sony PlayStation Studios Worldwide, in order of Daniel RPK. So the shoot date, and this is why we're getting a little bit more information or discussion around it. Shoot date, June 5th, 2024. So a few weeks ago. Location, Los Angeles. It will be a live-action adventure game that contains intense violence and potential use of profanity. This project will likely be rated for M for mature. And these are who they were looking for, seeking a female, 20 to 60 years old, white woman, darker brunette. Intriguing, though, because the age gap range is quite a bit bigger than you'd expect. Maybe they're looking for multiple. So think like, younger women, older women, etc. And of course, male, 40 to 60 years old, white man, salt and pepper, gray hair. I'm not really sure exactly what that really means, though. Maybe someone who is like partially graying. So like you look at like a beard and you have a chance to see like the gray speckled on in. Like I can maybe see that. But I'm going to throw in some Neil Druckmann, Last of Us Part 3, because we have seen a lot of notions on this. So if you kind of go look through here, let me go and show you guys why this adds a little bit more extra, I guess, potential for The Last of Us Part 3. So we've been seeing stuff, like we've been seeing concepts over here. Basically, The Last of Us creator confirms there's a Part 3 concept. Let's play one more chapter to the story. So a lot of people are kind of curious on like what's going to happen, how it's going to go. A lot of people are assuming it's not the end, as I mentioned at the start of the video. But basically, Neil Druckmann, the co-creator and writer behind the beloved award-winning gaming franchise that has spawned the now Emmy-winning HBO series, confirmed that he actually does have this concept already made for a third entry. Druckmann dropped the bomb in the final moments of Grounded 2, making The Last of Us Part 2. So he's been on record in documentaries and discussions that he wants to make this. So the documentary delving behind the creation of a 2020 game, which dropped on YouTube Friday afternoon. I've been thinking about it. Is there a concept there? And for now years, I haven't been able to find that concept. But recently, that's changed. Druckmann said in the documentary, I don't have a story, but I do have that concept that, to me, is exciting as one, as exciting as two, is his own thing, and it has through line for all three. So it does feel like there's probably at least one more chapter to this story. And a lot of people have been kind of theorizing too, because I don't want to go too depth into like spoilers if you guys have never seen it, but basically like it's open-ended enough. There's enough side characters involved and stories of like the big picture. I don't want to delve too much into spoilers if you guys haven't played the game. I do heavily recommend it, but there is like a lot of potential bad people that have not been like properly addressed as a proper, like actual evil doer, in my honest opinion. So I do think there's good potential. Or also the overall story lore of like how infections and everything spread and all of that. There is a lot of potential with it. Now, some people may be curious on who the actors are going to be, how the story is going to evolve. I'm a little bit concerned because I do kind of feel like if it stopped right now on these 2 episodes, it's one of those nice open-ended endings where it's good enough, and I would be okay if there never was another Last of Us. Although, due to the fact and how much I actually did generally enjoy the first 2 games, I liked them. Like, I was down with that. So I was very into it, at least in my opinion. So basically, they have had confirmed too. Druckmann confirms there is a story that makers at gaming studio Naughty Dog have written that actually does take place after the events of Part 2, starring Tommy. But unlike the headlines that came out about in the press, it's actually not even a part of this Part 3 concept. So right now, if you guys enjoy the game, which I did, it seems like they have multiple different like concepts they can push. And I always liked Tommy as a character. I think no matter what, in terms of either a TV show or its own spin-off game, or even a Part 4 maybe, I think Tommy will be involved. But as well, the main characters, I would assume, are probably going to be involved too, because it's kind of like who leads them to the game, the story, and all that. It was always a small story. It was never a full title, he explained in the documentary, noting how conflicting priorities at the time contributed to the shelving of that project. I still believe one day it'll see the light of day. I don't know if it'll be a game or a show, to be determined. The first game had such a clean concept of the unconditional love a parent feels for their child, he continued. The second one, once we landed on this idea of the pursuit of justice at any cost, justice for the ones you love, I feel like, oh, there's a clean concept here, and there's a through line from the first game about love. If we don't ever get to do it again, that's a fine ending point. The last bite of the apple, the story's done. The great thing about working at Naughty Dog is that we don't have to. It's always like, we would love another Last of Us, but if developers feel like you are passionate about something else, we'll support this other thing too. We're very privileged. So basically, all these things are now confirming that they have these casting directors. People are curious about it. We've been seeing now concept art too as well. That's been kind of shown around. Let's see if anything pops up with this as we click on it. No, it's just Helldivers. Maybe if I don't know. They just... we lost the link for it, whatever. But when it comes to that one, they've been seeing like artwork and people curious about the game and looking at the game and everything else. Oh, they even said they want to avoid copyright tricks, so maybe we should do the same thing. But basically, yeah, it's cool because it'll most likely be at least a brand new game regardless, but it does look like it might be The Last of Us Part 3. So I want to hear your thoughts on all of this. One little bit of a fun bonus video. Make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on. We have the Twitter and Twitch down below, probably live on Twitch right now if you guys want to say hi, and I appreciate y'all for watching here in the first place.